Hey guys, I'm not dead. It's 5 days after Christmas and 2 days until New Year. But let's talk some movies. I saw Fatman and it was entertaining. Fatman is about Mel Gibson as Santa Claus, and he's starting to fall on hard times and is forced into a contract with the US military. While a young Ben Shapiro gets coal in his stocking and he hires a hitman played by Walton Goggins, who has this vendetta against Santa Claus to kill him. Now, that's obviously a 10 out of 10 premise, but is the movie that good? Well, no. But that's not to say it's bad. Fatman is actually quite fun, to be honest. One thing I really like about this movie is Mel Gibson as Santa. This is a version of Santa that is more dark and gritty, which I wasn't expecting to see, but I'll take it. And Santa's workshop is not this jolly, magical place like every other depiction of it. Here it's very not magical and more like an ordinary factory, and Santa's house is just a small cottage out in the middle of nowhere. It's an interesting take on the mythology of Santa Claus, and we also learn about stuff like how Santa is actually the world's biggest economic stimulus, and how much money he makes depends on how many presents he delivers. And he made less than what he usually would because young people are getting worse and he's had to deliver more coal. So Mel Gibson is good as a dark and gritty Santa, but I've already mentioned him. Walton Goggins plays a hitman who is hired to kill Santa. He plays this role so seriously, but it looks like he's having fun at the same time, so I couldn't help but enjoy it whenever he was on camera. And he has this whole vendetta against Santa because he only got one toy car as a child. And then there's a spoiled rich kid who looks like Ben Shapiro, and he's the most unlikable character in the whole movie. And throughout the movie, you forget about him, and so does the movie until it decides to remind you of him. He gets Colin his present on Christmas morning, so he hires Walton Goggins to kill Santa. But I think that the movie would have worked just as well if he was written out of the movie completely, and was just about Walton Goggins trying to kill Santa since he already hates him in the movie. Although, I do like the scene at the end with this kid and Santa. Also, there are some times where it feels like the movie kind of forgets it's a comedy and they play some of the scenes more seriously. So yeah, this was a fun time. Not perfect, but I'd probably watch it again. Check this one out if you want. It's a fun action Christmas comedy, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And then I saw Soul, and it was pretty good. Soul is about a music teacher named Joe who gets into an accident and wakes up in this spirit realm place on the day that he has a gig, and he has to get back into his regular body. So I'm sure some of you know this was supposed to come out in theaters, but then the whole world went to shite and then they put it on Disney Plus on Christmas. And it seems they have learned their lesson from Mulan because they released it for free. I will say, this movie isn't as much of a kids movie as you'd expect from a Pixar movie. The movie also doesn't spend as much time in this spirit realm place as much as you'd expect. Because when I saw the trailers, I thought the entire movie would take place there. But actually, it takes place on Earth more because it's about Joe and a spirit named 22 trying to get back into Joe's body before his gig that night. I do like the spirit realm they created for this movie, like how they have souls and they program their personalities into them before they send them to Earth. And they have this moving walkway for when your soul's ready to go to the great beyond, which is basically this movie's version of heaven. Although when Joe first ends up on his way to the great beyond, he's the only one who resists, which I find kind of weird because I feel like surely some other people would have resisted as well. The animation is great, but it's Pixar, so I might as well mention it. But it's amazing how far they've come since the 90s. There's a subplot where Joe and 22 are being hunted by an accountant named Terry from the spirit realm. And I may have been the only one who noticed this, but Terry looks so much like the cheat from Homestar Runner. They didn't think anyone would notice, but I noticed. Also, that subplot ends rather quickly and is pretty much forgotten about until the end. There's also something they bring up with a student of Joe who's thinking of quitting, but 22, while in Joe's body, convinces her not to, but that doesn't really go anywhere. Characters are all good, especially Jamie Foxx as Joe, and Tina Fey was entertaining as 22. There's also this hippie guy whose name I don't remember that was entertaining. There are these counselors in the spirit realm place, and they're all named Jerry. And one of them is voiced by Richard Ayoade, and the other reminds me of Wilt from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. The movie goes by quite fast, and it's like an hour and 40-something minutes. But the ending is just so abrupt, I was like, wait, that's it? Also, I'm pretty sure there was another issue I thought of, but I don't remember what it is, so it must not have been important. Oh, and there's a post-credit scene of Terry telling the audience to go home. That didn't age well. Overall, Soul's a good movie, certainly better than some of the other Disney Plus originals from this year, and I would watch it again, and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Also, sorry I've been gone for so long. The main reason is that I haven't really been watching that many movies, and I've been kind of lazy on making videos. Oh, and I did see Wonder Woman 1984, but I don't want to review that until I see it again, so expect that in January. And there are still a lot of movies from this year I want to catch up on, so it'll be a while before my best and worst of the year lists are out, but hopefully it won't be as long as last time.